Yeah. Get a couple people in here and we'll get this going. I am gonna need to sharpen. What's up? How's it going? We'll get started here in just a second. Fix this light so y'all aren't blinded. Alright, so it's been just a little bit since we've been in the shop. Summer's been like stupid busy. So one of the things I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn a little lidded bowl. That's entirely too bright. And with it being summer and the show season and everything like that, kind of like doing my V's. Chuck a 2x4. That way you get like a little bit of practice with what's going on here, as well as something that you could sell stupid cheap at one of these shows. And everybody's a winner. A lot of people don't like cutting pine. It don't really bother me a whole lot. I've actually made some pretty cool stuff out of pine before. So we're going to do some of this before we start cranking out pins and other stuff. Cutting that up, turn the speed down so we're at. Oh, yeah. Cool. What's up, Johnny? What's up, Cheryl? Let me get an apron on here so I don't get a bunch of sawdust and shavings down by my chesticles. So, no fancy wood just yet, but we are going to turn some pine. Please flip to horizontal. I do not, sir. Sorry about that. Okay, so I guess the first thing we can do is start working this in, round it off, working our way back. Like I said earlier, I like using traditional gouges on pine like this because one, a little bit different, and two, it gives me hey, there's my drill shot. Gives me some practice with my skews and stuff, especially when I haven't been in the shop in a few days. All right. Cruising right around 1500 RPM. forgot to finish up with that after I sharpened it. Rest in a little bit. I did notice about halfway through that I'm an idiot and forgot to lock in this set screw on the chuck, so that might have been that jumping and deaccelerating is here. Sorry about that, really am. See if I can get my actual channel pulled up on my laptop here so I can see what you guys are saying in here. That would be cool. What any of that means? Go away. Go away. What's up? I'm not ignoring anybody, I promise. I don't want to do that. I don't care about that. I don't have my issue. I don't have an issue. Just open my damn video. Thank you. All right, cool. Sorry about that. So let's try to make this completely round before it shatters on us. There we go. Yeah, it might have been that loud thumping. There we go. Down on that. This is the thing that I hate about working with the lathe. It's definitely one of those things, if you don't like use it, you lose it. What's up, Hibbiac? How's it going, man? Check that guy out. He's also a hello turn. We're going to turn a pin here in a minute. I'm just kind of digging off with some 2x4. One, because it's been a little bit since I got to get out here and turn. And two, it's never a bad idea to kind of like brush up on your stuff, man. It's pine, so I mean we're not gonna get like nothing absolutely beautiful out of it. And it does have a couple cracks in it, but they don't go all the way through. May have drilled my wormhole screw a little too big. I think I did actually. It's no big deal. We're gonna see if this mounts up. We're gonna hollow this out. We're gonna pop the lid on here and see how it works out. that. First things first. Lock that in. Move our tailstock back out the way a little bit. Speed down. I don't see it going a whole lot thinner than that. So blow our gouge, hit the very edge of it with some super high grit shit real quick. Turn the speed up, hollow it out. Move this super short, well, this tailstock out of the way on this super short lace. If that helps out. What's up, Mr. Wilson? How's it going, brother? Not bad for time. Scraper here, my smaller scraper, let's say that. I'm going to turn the speed down because this isn't like super thick. And I really want to contour the bottom of that. There's not a whole lot of places for you to hide error, especially working with pine. Does got a couple cracks in it, like we mentioned. It's nothing that I can't fix with some CA glue. But they're not cracks from the turning process, they're just cracks from it being pine. Oh. Trying not to leave any sharp edges on anything. And then use our skew. Just an 1/8 by 1/8 shelf. You can also use that for the tenon, to flip it over and finish the bottom on this. Alright. Is it beautiful? No, not yet. Is it gonna be? Probably, maybe. I don't know. This is always one of the cool things with pine. It's a cheap ass wood. If you sell each bowl for $5, $10, you can literally make $150, $200 off of a 2x4. And pine holds collar very well. So you don't just have to put your oils on it. You can actually stain it, paint it, you know, anything you really want to do. Dark spot in it though, where I hit with that other paper. Put a shine on a heifer. Yep, that's just in the wood now. Cool. That's sealed now. It's not too funky looking. Got a little bit on the inside we need to love up. And the cool thing about pine, other than the other obvious things I stated, If you tear it up, dude, you tear it up. It's no big deal. No one's out a whole bunch of money. Not nothing like that. It's just, it's pine. So with that being said, we're going to put a line right here. Because I think it needs one. No other reason than that. Put a beat on that shit. This is a softwood. Nah, I'm not a big shot, sir. I got 96 people in here right now. I'll probably end up netting right around, I don't know, 10,000 views on this entire live stream. But there's a few people in the audience right now that can testify that every once in a while I'll bang out like 450,000 or something like that. We're going to clean up the bottom of this. We're going to put a finish line on it, and then we're going to hit it with some sealant. Yeah, because I want to make the bottom of that look nice. Hopefully it won't fly apart on me. Drop this down a little bit to where we're not as high. Working with the bowl gouge, you want your bottom wing to be just about even with the center point there. Don't want to do anything too crazy. But I am going to dome it. Alright, so that's down below the point of where our fits. Sand it. Round off any crazy edges. Doesn't hurt to give the inside of the foot just a little bit of love. It was in our jaws, but I measured it pretty good this time, so shouldn't have any crazy marks. I think I'm going to do a little bit more love on that burnish ring upper by the top because that's starting to rub me the wrong way. There we go. Burnish line. little bowl so far. Not done with it yet. Come up here, we're gonna mount our worm screw back in here. Dropped y'all. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's just a chunk of 2x4 turning. We're gonna do a pin here in a minute. I like pins. We've also got some exotic stuff down here, so it's no big deal. Right now we're just kind of warming up because let's face it, it's been a grip since I've been in the shop. Alright. Lay down. Let this thing go wild for a minute. Make it flat. There we go. Yeah, like I said earlier, pine's kind of cheap, but you can work on a lot with it. One thing I don't like is you always gotta like sharpen your tools a little more frequently with pine. Ah, there it is. Pocket. Cedar, I absolutely hate turning. Just not seeing your comment on there. Not because of the wood, I actually love cedar. But something about the oils off cedar, man, it messes with my eyes and my sinuses, something wicked. Alright, so she's round. Notice the pine gets hot too. Oh, no problem, man. I watch anybody that I can learn something from. We're going to cut us a temporary tenon on the back of this. Just because there's a reason I hate working with a worm screw. got the same cracks in the same places as the other. Okay. Here's one of the pins that I made that I was telling you about in the stream the other day. All right. We're going to pop this out, this worm screw out. And then we are going to clean up the inside of this a little bit, come back out, clean up the outside shoulder. And then we're going to put make that fit. Yeah. Put a nice little knob on the inside of it, or on top of it. And then we're going to get over here and we're going to place some pins and stuff. Why? Because I said so. It's my channel. I can do that. Oh yeah. Tool rest, height of the workpiece. Normally you want to be on center with a bowl gouge. According to Thomas Love, who was mentored by Richard Raffi, and I'm pretty much taking his word as the gospel. You want your bottom wing to be even with the center of the workpiece. And then should be the same this way. And then we'll just go in and ride the bevel in. Which a little bit harder working with pine because the wood's inconsistent. I don't like knots in pine. Turn that speed down just a little bit. You hit the edge of this. You see if there's any of a burr left on here. I'm going to go ahead and pull the burr. Take this stop off here for a minute. And then the only thing I'm doing is I'm working. Just going to depth until I get that wormhole out of there. Which I just did. Alright, so now we're going to shape up the inside of this a little bit. Alright. Come out here and clean up the outside of it, of course, because it's rougher than a cob. But I wanted to hollow that out because this is actually going to be a lid. It's going to be a little bit different than the previous set. Maybe chuck that heifer in there like that just to give it a little bit more stability. not going any higher than that, not getting that much closer to the chuck. All right. Right there. Take off just a little bit of the outside edge until we can get that socket set up to make that fit. I told my wife, I bet they unsubscribe. What? Huh. Right, we're going to bring this in a little bit bigger. I want that to be a tighter fit. It's pine. Pine usually acts a little weird when it's drying. What's up, Howdy? Or Heidi, sorry. There we go. Right. We're going to cut a tenon on the inside that I can mount these jaws into. I know it seems like we're going through a bunch of big-ass waste of time on a piece of pine. And let's face it, we are. But, why not? We're getting better at it. We're getting better at it. We're going to sand that down a little bit because it's fine. All right. Cool. Now we can flip this over and I'll show you the inside of it. We can mount our jaws into one of these tenons that we cut. We'll go ahead and shape the outside of it and shape the knob as well. She's in there, Billy. Cool. All right. Edge shaper. Over that. kind of want the top of this to bail a little bit. Like that. Just when we come back up, we want to kind of catch where we left off and run that that bead back up to the termination line. Too smooth. What's that? There it is. A little bit of spindle gouge action. Totally be done with the bowl gouge, but I just want to play with my spindle gouge a little bit. I want to smooth up the end of this and you'll see why. Because here in a second, we're really going to try to like church this pine up and try to make it look like something that it's not. Got this burn line on the outside of the base of this, so we're going to put one in right here above the upper edge. Take the big ass same chunk of wood that I had, put a burn line in it. Why? Because we can. Do the sanding thing on that just to make it beautiful again. And you do got your pine and everything coming through here, which I kind of like that whole cracked nonsense look. But we are not your normal kind of people. We are, in fact, wood turners. And we don't leave good enough alone. So we are going to put a gemstone in this cat's butthole. Back us up a little bit. I'm going to bust out one of my most favorite tools in my arsenal. Sorbery Spiraler. And on the edge of this right here, we're going to give it some love. Make sure I got me a good flat work surface. Clean all that nonsense out the way. Drop the hammer on that. Raise that beefalo up. There we go. We're at about 350 RPMs. And I'm going to drive this straight into the center of this. I don't know how to work on pine. Hopefully it cut me a little flower in there. I cut a little something in there. All right. Cut me a little spiral in there too. All right. I'm going to frame out the very center in the middle of the flower, right there. Like so. The outside edge of the flower. And then just the inside edge of the spiraling. Later, Hibiak. Think I'm pronouncing it right. I don't know, man. Okay. Turn the speed up on this thing. Do. So, it's 2x4. Is it a award-winning art piece? No. No, it's not. But, kind of fun. What's up, Dan? How's it going? Not a bad way to use a piece of plywood. Now, let me clean some of this nonsense up real quick, and then I'll run you guys out by the back of the pickup truck and show y'all something. Might be showing y'all that I need a new damn shop vac. All right, so your boy's no stranger to the old dumpster diving scenario. If I see something cool and it's in the trash, it's instantly mine. I don't care. So, damn way in the sunlight. I'm sorry for blinding you. I was driving through the streets of a neighboring town, and I happened to see a very familiar thing sticking out of the base of a dumpster. Got the base for it, as well as the lathe. Brought it home and it wouldn't work. Popped the back cover off of it, and it had looked like somebody laid a piece of wire across it. So I blew it out, cleaned off the connections, and it works. So last night I put a little bit of an order in. I'm going to swap out the 3/4 horsepower motor for a 2 horsepower motor. Speed control, forward and reverse. Got the banjo to make the extended banjo, and my goal by the end of the 2 weeks, I want to be turning 18-inch bowls. If I can get light enough materials, I'm going to do some segmented bowls and a total of 18 inches just to see how it goes. And if you guys are interested in that, I might make a video about the whole process of wiring it and converting it and all that pain in the ass nonsense. Let me see what pin kits we got over here real quick. What I've got readily laid out, because I've got a couple blanks that I poured and I've had sitting down here. It's an emerald resin and cork oak bark. Thank you, Eric. So we might be giving that a try, seeing how that works out. The Shoops have one of those, and they don't have, well, they've got 3 or 4 of those, I believe, and they don't have any problems with theirs whatsoever. Billy said that they are rather good lathes, but some of y'all would have giggled if you could see my big ass jumping into a dumpster. And then once I was in there trying to figure out how I was going to get that heavy son of a bitch out there. I wanted that one because that one's got the swivel head on it. And it gives me the possibilities to turn outboard. So that was the big selling point, and not selling point, I guess thieving point. Took it out of a dumpster. What's up, Mims? How's it going, brother? So I might do some videos on the repairing and rebuilding of that monstrosity in the near future. Come here. All right, stop being an asshole. All right, so we got over here in the box. Check my bushings. See what I got in here. Probably a whole bunch of crazy shit, I'm not even gonna lie. Mims, you alright, buddy? Alright. See if these bushings are the correct ones. I have labels on all this shit because Strong Ink sends me bushings. And then I'm an idiot. So There's that. There's that one. And that one. Oh, boys, we are shitting in tall cotton. All right. So we are going to put together the PK RB2. Why? Because I said so. It's actually a really cool pen. This one's in gold. Gold Cletus. We're going to need this big-ass monstrosity here. I'd reckon so, man. You're not really a dude if you can just get over some shit like that overnight. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Smash my pickup, Bobby. Okay. I do believe. Yeah, this is the longer one. So we're going to find our drill bit that corresponds to this. Because I'm an idiot and I don't read instructions. Put our worm screw press so we don't lose that. I believe that one's already in our actual. It is in our Jacob's chuck. Tighten that in there. Slow down the speed. Lay that there. Give this a go. And we're through. Okay. Pop this heifer out. Cool. I managed to keep some of that wood all the way through it. I like that. I'm trying to better myself on wanting to work with resin. And I don't like working with resin at all. Sometimes I kind of feel like you have to get your whole interpretation of what you think the pen should look like or the piece should look like for that matter. So that's my philosophical shit for the day. I'm going to go back to cursing and screaming shit that I shouldn't be saying now. Pop this out of here. It's 33 people in here. What the fuck? I'm big shit in the tall cotton now. All right. Billy. Oh, where are you at, you big old bastard? You're who Daddy needs right there. She's there. Putting this down. Throw this other ginormous chunk of this shit in here. At this point, I'm not even making sure they're squared up. I kind of want the whole abstract shit going on. And if she's willing to play, I'm willing to party. Let's go. Daddy does it. Okay. We're all the way through? Yeah, we're all the way through. Okay. What's up, Sergio? Yeah, I'm making a pin currently. I made a lidded bowl out of a chunk of 2x4 warming up. If y'all haven't yet, please like, subscribe, especially if you're hanging around there here for this level of shenanigans and nonsense. And then if you could, swing by, check out my sponsors. I've got two really big sponsors. Got Wood LLC, also known as turningblanks.net. And Strong Ink Tools, or I'm Strong Ink Pens, not tools, dumbass. But really good companies, down to earth folk. If you use the code WHACKER, WHACKER, on Got Wood, also known as turningblanks.net, you'll get a discount with them. And if you make any size purchase whatsoever with Strong Ink pen kits, and then in the order notes you put the Whacking Shack, they'll give you a free gift. It's actually pretty cool, free gift, pretty useful if you make pins and stuff. It's 10 of their velvet lined bags and all that stuff like that. And thank you, Sergio. And if you order something, like I said, put my information under the Whacking Shack, they'll send you 10 of them bad boys for free. I don't know if you can kind of like bluff them and do it multiple times. I know that I'm going to try it because I had to order my own damn pin bags before they started running this promotion. Let those dry for a second. Ow. While we're waiting on all that, I'll go ahead and show you a couple of these things. I do turn pins. I do some crazy segmented pins. Here's a couple of the Geesey style pins that I done. Keep these on here. This one is like a 20-piece linear lamination with the chevrons and everything like that. That's my roller ball. And then this one is a 3D printed mold with a resin pour, and this one is an actual fountain pen. I really like the fountain pen. Hindsight being 20/20, I wish I'd put the fountain pen guts in this one. I think that would have been like the ultimate pen that way. just because I'm a sucker for fountain pens, you know. I'm gonna grab my pen mandrel as soon as I find that son of a bitch. And I'm going to chuck these up in here and commence to spinning them at a very, very generous rate of speed because I like to turn fast. Anybody that knows me knows that. I like fast turning. Now I find my pen mandrel somewhere it's not supposed to be, like in a giant ass pile of sawdust. I am going to need my hammer because I don't use a pen press. Beat them into submission. It's weird, you make all this stuff to get organized, and then you realize that you knew where all your shit was when your shop was in a state of disarray. Not so much that you actually took the time to clean it up a little bit. Definition of insanity. There it is. In the drawer of my toolbox that I labeled pen making shit. Ladies and gentlemen, we're balling on a budget. Okay, so threaded end in there. That's that end. Big end. Big end. I'll move you guys over here so you can get a better view of what the hell is actually going on. I gotta stop sliding my damn phone out like that. I'm roundhead. I'm sorry, y'all. Sorry about that. We're back in action now. Took my eye out. I've got the threaded stuff to thread wood and all that, and I thought about making my own just to be, you know, an asshole and say that I did it. But I don't know. Kind of gives me like this weird sense that I'm actually doing something a little bit more productive when I smash them in place with a hammer. All right, so for this, we are going to use carbides because it's a combination of resin and wood. That's only 1,400 RPMs, and whenever I say I want mock Jesus, I want mock Jesus. Give me a minute. The motor that's coming for the Harbor Freight lathe that I'm going to build from the ground up is 2 horsepower, I believe 3,600 RPMs. I doubt it'll turn that big or turn that fast because I'm wanting to turn big ass bowls on it. I don't plan on using the linear bed of it a whole lot for anything, except for like ball bats and spindles. But I'm gonna need that 2 horsepower to spin big ass bowls relatively fast. Mike Jesus with an 18-inch bowl, that's what I'm talking about, yeah. You guys know me, I'll try anything once. Eric, I've seen those too. I don't know though. For me, it's kind of like that whole when the Japanese blacksmiths quenches a damn katana, it gives the sword its soul. I kind of like smacking the damn life into these pins with a mallet. If you'll notice on my resin pins, I don't turn this damn lathe off or slow it down until I get both the pieces relatively close to where they need to be, because I like to be just as surprised by you guys as what's coming out of here. And I still to this day blame Michael Wilson and Moyoc over these damn pins. One day they were like, "Oh yeah, just make a pin. It's not that hard." And then I done it. And I'm like, damn, I really like doing that. I don't want to nick anybody because at the time I didn't really look at pin turners like they were actual making them and they were using a kit, you know. And then it got to the point where I found dudes like Geesey and all that shit, and found out that, wow, man, some of these guys are putting just as much effort into a damn pin as people are putting into bowls. Let's see what that looks like. Okay. I got a little bit of an air bubble there that I need to fill in because I'm stupid. Which I've got the actual corkwood shavings that came off of this because I'm, one, a messy bastard, and two, I haven't got to clean up my lathe yet. So don't let nobody say anything about not cleaning up your lathe. That's what I'm talking about. Fill her in, Judas. Michael Wilson, that would be an honor that I could not even fathom. Him, Raffin, Peace, all those guys, top tier stuff. I mean it. Like, I got cold chill bumps thinking about that shit. And I'd probably try to keep it G-rated for those guys too, because they're pretty professional. I would be honored to turn anything with those guys. All right, so we're going to let that harden up a little bit. You notice I got a couple little air bubbles. In the past, I filled these with things like CA, which I just did. I've used mica powder, stuff like that. I could use just some black resin stabilizer. I don't want to do that on this. I want to keep it very subtle. And I want to use stuff that's relatively close to the finish of the pen because I think this green is going to be very pretty when I finally pop it. So down here, just conveniently, on top of my bag, once again, things I can't say in a 4-ways video, I'm going to keep taking the cork dust and spreading it out over there so I can hit it with some Shazam. I did one, but it came out so crooked. Run it, man. Just run it. Yeah, so this is actually going to, I think this is going to be pretty cool. And I'd say with cork oak being as porous as it is, it's not the only time we're going to come up with this this problem in the process of this. I kind of figured that was going to be a thing. But that emerald green with that that brown is giving me some cool effects. And I've also got the blacks from the stuff in the oak. So yeah, we're I don't think we're that bad off. I do want to round this off just a wee bit down here. About 90% sure there was an inclusion or something there because it was going super smooth and got a weird little catch. So it's probably an air bubble. It might have just been a piece of the corkwood standing up. I don't know. We're going to find out now. Yeah, it's right there. I see it. Piece of the corkwood separated. Once again, another reason to keep your chisel sharp. Fill her in, you heifer. Fill her in. Little preview of what's to come. All right, let's get over and work on this one a little bit. very carefully dump all that cork off my hand. That way, you never know when you got to use it to patch something, man. I don't know you, no way. If you guys hit, please consider becoming a member. I want to do giveaways and stuff like that, and members kind of help with the shipping because I don't want to be one of those dudes that don't ship to everybody that's a member. So international shipping fucking expensive. You know what I mean? I would like to be able to do stuff like that. Johnny just won a badass chuck from Benjamin Winkle on his channel. And because of members and stuff like that, Benjamin was able to, ship internationally and stuff like that. I got a lot of people that watch from overseas and things like that, and I'd really like to be able to hook them up too. So, consider becoming a member. I think it's only $1. I really want to get back into the giveaways and stuff like that. All right, let's see what we got here. See how much tear out we got. Not too god-awful bad. I got a couple places there that I need to stabilize a little bit. And then I got a little bit of a cavity right here. And I'm going to put some of this calc in. Cool. I don't really know if I need to stabilize that or not, but I'm gonna. Because this is turning out way too pretty just to give hell to, you know what I mean? Let that chill for a minute. Oh, God. Yes, this is the, for anyone that's asking, I'm sorry. I thought I said it earlier. I'm pretty sure I did. This is the PKRB2. This one's in gold. This is going to be a gold roller ball with this emerald green epoxy resin and this cork wood bark. And I am digging the way it's looking so far. Hoping that it can be like super clean by the time I'm done. I do see a couple places that I need to clean up, but I do that with every one of them before I do the final finishing process. I got 80 likes in here. I'm trying to pop 100. It's been a while since we banged off 100 likes in a random stream. And I should probably be a little bit more professional about it and like, you know, send out thumbnails and everything saying that I'm getting ready to do the damn thing and all that, but I don't do that. One, because I'm not that tech savvy, and two, I kind of like the underground feel of it. I appreciate it, brother. More than welcome to subscribe. That's free. I plan on turning a lot this summer. A little bit about me. I'm not a retired cop. I'm an actual school resource officer. Probably one of the most rewarding jobs that I've ever had. I've only been woodworking for, I think August this year will be pushing 3 years. Before that, I didn't even own any tools. I never worked with wood or anything like that. Never had the time. Found woodworking, and it totally just changed my life. I know that sounds cliche as shit, but it's the truth. I'm gonna do something real sketchy now. Hit that skew a little bit. Knock the crazy burr off the end of it. If there's any crazy inconsistencies, that'll kind of knock them out of there. I'm working on it, brother. I really am. Dude, I was at... Hell, I think I broke 4,000 subs before I ever got my first sponsor offer. And honestly, the first one, I turned it down because it was some weird shit, like the pins or something. One thing I have noticed about this pin mandrel is every once in a while, she backs out on you. She backs out like that prom date that you don't want to tell nobody about. There we go. Cool. Now, get in here and love these things. I hope it looks nice and gold. The cenote pins that I do, which is what I call these, because if you look at like South American cenotes, they're puddles or deep-ass caverns. full of red or green or blue water, and they got like little islands of land around them and everything like that. And we just kind of, I don't know, man. We went on a cruise last year, and I went and checked out the Mayan jungle and the Mayan ruins, and there was some cenotes and shit. And after that, I just kind of ate up with them. I'm not even gonna beat around the bush. All right, so what we got here? Got a little bit of a cleanup I got to do right there because I always leave a little bit of resin overhanging on the edge of my holes for when I fit my brass tubes. That way, if I happen to have any kind of crazy tear out or anything like that, I can do that. Turn the speed down. That way I can eyeball this and get exactly what I want. Do as I say, not as I do. To our little piece of wood out there, which kind of figured that was going to happen. That's why we got this giant mound of corkwood right here. Get off here. Let that settle down in there. John, I'm making a fancy rollerball kit with resin and corkwood bark, just because. Hopefully it turns out pretty cool. We'll find out here in a minute. I'm getting ready to slam this heifer together and see what we came out with. Actually, I'm not getting ready to slam it together. I got to do some finishing on it. But stick around, man. It's free. Hell yeah, I'm not knocking dumpster even a bit. You done seen what I pulled out the dumpster? So I will. Matter of fact, I'll frequent that dumpster again, like a fast food joint. I don't give a damn. I'm a trash panda lady. So, if you guys have been following the channel any at all, you know that I've been trying to do this whole weight loss thing. And so far it's paying off. Oh shit, I got a little tear out there. I don't like that. So one of the things my goal was, by the time I go back to school next year, or in August, September, where the hell we go back, I don't know. I wanted to be 280. My goal before I go on vacation in July was to be at 300. I weighed up yesterday. I'm weighing at 311. I got 11 pounds or 12 pounds to go before I break the 300 mark. When I started this back in February, I weighed 385. And when I was at my biggest, I was at 425. And that shit was rough. So I've got a guy, he's probably the best moderator ever on here. The doctor, Michael Wilson. It's nothing for him to message me at like 2 o'clock in the morning because he lives in Highlander land. Be like, what are you doing? I'll be like, sit-ups. Pre-workout's not wore off yet. So, I'm 80-some pounds down. On this rotation of the diet. Don't want to be like fit and pretty and nothing like that. I just want to be around for like my kids whenever they like walk across the stage and shit. I'm going to attempt to carve flames and resin 42 days ago. Hell yeah, dude. What's up, soldier? How's it going, brother? Suzanne, you gotta let a man know how that rolls out. Flames and resin would be the shit. And if you're new here, please check out the other channels on here, man. We got a hell of a good group of people here, man. All good dudes and chicks. I can say chicks now because we have confirmed got some chicks in here. Ladies, nothing like that. All right, that is sanded. Let's hit it with a little bit of higher grit, clean it up. Just moving up a little bit. And my neighbor cut down a pink dogwood tree that was kind of standing dead. And he's like, yo, man, you want any of this before I have it hauled off? And do you think that a guy that was diving in a dumpster for lathe parts the other day is going to say no? Damn right I didn't. Sorry about that, guys. Is this a fishing? No, sir. It is it's a pin. I've made some fishing lures. I've made some duck calls. If you're into that outdoorsy type, I also make pins out of antler. Kind of pretty cool. These are 2-piece screw lids, fountain pins, and rollerball. That's what this looks like. Looks sexy is what it looks like. Get me a piece of the paper towel here. And then we're going to wipe this off and we're going to start our first CA coat. That's right, I stroke it good. Okay. Alright, let's try this. First one. Don't use your Instastet or your accelerator or whatever when you're putting the finish on your pins. It gives it like a white, weird looking haze and you just have to bust your ass to fix it. Alright, so we put our first flood coat on there, and the only thing that does is it fills any kind of inconsistencies in the grain. Gives a preview of what she's kind of going to look like. And I'd be lying if I said I didn't just dig the hell out of that. And then I like to go over it with some friction polish. I know that sounds kind of asinine and backwards, But we really want to knock any kind of ridges or anything like that off of that CA finish. You don't want to drag lines, nothing like that. Oh, lost y'all. I'm back. I'm sorry. Finishing process. Dude, I've literally got racks and racks and racks of antler here. And it's cool as shit because I live in a pretty rural area. And like, dudes that would normally have no interest in a fountain pen or a turnbull, like flannel wearing, face scar, shotgun toting, hunting fools, which are my people. They'll roll up and be like, "Hey, you need some antler?" I'm like, yeah. Chances of me getting one of them pins. Gotcha. Alright, so now that we've shellacked that down in friction polish, I'm going to turn the speed up. Get a clean piece of this and just rub the hell out of it. I likes it. We are smooth. I need to put, once again, corkwood's kind of porous, so we need to love that a little bit. And I don't want any kind of inconsistencies in the finish. I want it to be a glassy finish. So we're going to wipe this off real good like. Now that we got that kind of packed in and filled out, cooked off all the friction paste. And we're going to give this thing another flood coat, thin flood coat, and then do the final buffing and cutting of the CA with turtle wax, and probably started out at 2,000, work our way up to 3,000 on the grits. That way we'll get a nice, what'd you say? Make me some cork for a fishing rod. You don't really make the cork, bro. You get it off of cork wood. It's the bark. And believe it or not, it's kind of like a pain to get. Like, I had to look around to get that. All right, we're going to turn this down, put on a flood coat so we can fill in these little inconsistencies. Rub the hell out of them so I don't get a bunch of ridges and just completely undo what we just did. All right. Go over to this piece. Yes, I light sand and polish in between CA coats. I personally do. I know a lot of guys, they'll just hit it with some sanding paper till it knocks it off, wipe it off, and go. I don't necessarily polish, but on pins like this, especially where the wood's more porous, I want to, when you go to put your wax on there and your final coats, if you got any kind of porousness or holes or anything like that, you're going to get little pockets of white specks, and it's kind of like what you don't want on this. Give it some love, make sure there's no drag lines on it. Grip it like a man. Or woman, for that matter. Yeah, see these little white specks in here? It's kind of like what you don't want. So in order to get those out, we got to do the thing that I didn't want to do, which is hit that with a little bit of activator. Because that ultimately gives it a brittle finish. It's not really going to affect it where we put it on the last coat of that right before we buff it. But if you do it on the earlier stages of it, it's going to deal and start stacking and compounding all that powder into those pockets. It's really going to make it inconsistent on your finish, and that's not what you want on these. CA glue finish is about the only finish that I roll with, to be honest with you. Because after I do that, give her the old wipe down. Get into my sanding stash here. Who the hell here? Stick around for a minute. Oh, you're good. I'll be out in a second. I'm on live. Sorry about that. Let that run. It's going to develop a white haze over the entire thing, which you can kind of see. And then we're going to take a paper towel and run across at a high rate of speed. You can literally watch it cut that wax off. Alright, see what she looks like. Alright. Let's get her off here and put her together. Okay. 1, 2. All right. Put the cap back on everything here. One. On these pins, I just keep a piece of flat sponge paper, and I like to take the edges of them over the sponge, because if there's any kind of burrs from the resin or the wood that presses over the bearing, you can take that and knock it off. Right, so let's put this thing together. Okay, that's going to be our insert for that. All That's going to be our top cap. That'll be the last thing we put in. All right. Wood mallet. No pin press here. It would appear that my dumbass may have dropped my spring. Cool though, because I have some extra. Yes, I did drop my spring. No, I didn't. It's still in the bag. I could have swore I seen it in there. All right, put this thing together right. I'm sorry for lying to y'all. I'm a horrible person. Come on, give me 3 more likes so I can hit the 100 on this damn thing. Make me feel good. Make me feel good about myself. All right. Sorry, guys. No, it's taking a little bit longer. And everybody's got stuff they got to do. I don't like half-ass and stuff, though, so we're not going to do that. All right. So there's the base of the pin, the body of it. And what I like to do is I like to thread this midsection on the collar so I can tie the grains together on these. That way you get a flow through on the pin. I do that like so. Get the clip out of here. Come here, you son of a bitch. All right. Oh, no. No, 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 no. Scared me. Tastes horrible. Put a shine on it. There we go. There we go. Scared me. Thought I had activator in there. I was getting ready to shit a brick, boys and girls. Going to take my skew. We've got a little bit of a bubble here from the resin. There we go. Scared no more. was shitting bricks for a minute. There we go. And there's that. Thank you guys. It means a lot. So the like I said earlier, PK RB2. This one's in gold. Got the black accent on it. And I believe that you can actually take the RB kits that are fountain kits if you want to buy the extra fountain nib and all that stuff, and you could switch them out with these, which also makes these pretty cool in their own little way. So as of course, anything and everything I make is for sale, for a gift. You can get a hold of me on the Facebook group, The Whacking Shack. It's the shop's page. Check out all that cool stuff like that. I like the emerald and gold too. I'm not gonna lie. So today we turned 2x4 pieces into a lidded bowl. We went as crazy as putting a little spiral on top of it and some rings on the inside. Little lid that fits. Maybe. It is pine, so it's going to change a little bit as we go. That was kind of getting the skews and everything going. But other than that, peace. Love you all. God bless. Please check out my sponsors. Please check out the other. Please check out everybody else. All the other YouTube content creators. Please check out the Whacking Shack. Sorry, I can't think right now. TurningBlanks.net. Use the code Whacker as well as Strong Ink pens. Upon checkout, put in the Whacking Shack and they'll hook you up with a free gift. Other than that, check out the other channels. Peace, love, God bless. I'm out.